All right. What else? Negativity. All right. Life won't always go the way you want it, but when it comes down to it, you have the same 24 hours in a day as everyone else does. Successful people make their time count. Instead of complaining about how things could have been or should have been, they reflect on everything that they have to be grateful for. Then they find the best solution available, tackle the problem, and move on. All right, look, I'm just being real with y'all. This is one of the biggest difference between successful people and unsuccessful people that I notice, and it's their mindset. And it's the fact that a lot of times people who are not successful, they're just super negative about everything. And this is what I've learned in life. Whether you are successful or not, life is life, right? That means life brings challenges, brings health challenges, family challenges. There's things like the pandemic that affected us no matter what. Things like 9/11 affect you no matter whether you have money or not. So a lot of times people who are not successful like to create excuses to make themselves comfortable. And you can kind of take on a super negative kind of approach to everything. It's like, yeah, why you ain't do this? Well, man, I'm this. I ain't even gonna make up examples because somebody might feel like I'm talking about them. But it's like it's always a mountain that you're creating this mountain. And successful people do the opposite. They have problems. They have a lot of problems because success ain't easy. But what they do is they focus more on the solution than the problem. And that is the biggest difference. A person who isn't successful and having problems finding success spends most of their time looking at the problem. And what happens when you look at something? It's like you're glamorizing it. You're making it a Goliath. The problem gets bigger and bigger the longer you look at it. But what about the solution? If you focus on the solution, then the solution begins to outgrow the problem. And then the beautiful thing about the solution, it's literally the answer to how you overcome the thing that you're complaining about. And if you keep complaining about it, it will never cease to exist. So that's the crazy thing about being a complainer. It's like, bro, the longer you complain about it, the longer you're going to be dealing with it. So that was the second one. Let's keep it moving. Keep it moving. Let's go to the next challenge. All right. Number 3, toxic people. Woo. Woo. Toxic people, man. This one right here is like, all right. Successful people believe in a simple notion. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Just think about it. Some of the most successful companies in recent history were founded by brilliant pairs. Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak of Apple lived in the same neighborhood. Bill Gates and Paul Allen of Microsoft met in prep school. Sergey Brin and Larry Page of Google met at Stanford. Just as great people help you reach your full potential, listen to this, toxic people drag you right down with them. Whether it's negativity, cruelty, the victim syndrome, or just plain craziness, like turning into a panther, toxic people create stress and strife that should be avoided at all costs. If you're unhappy with where you are in life, just take a look around. More often than not, the people you've surrounded yourself with are the root of your problems. You'll never reach your peak until you surround yourself with the right people. Oh man, I know this is a tough one, right? When you think about the people around you, it's tough. I'm gonna tell you why. The reality of it is the more you grow in life, like the more different you become from people you once knew. Because we don't all grow at the same pace and we don't all even desire to grow in the same way. So if me and you met in the same neighborhood when we were in middle school, right? And we grew up in middle school together, and it's like the thing we had in common was that we were in the same neighborhood and we had the same class. Well, the older we get in life, we gravitate towards different hobbies, desires, ambitions, motivations. So let's say if the older I got, wanted to fight and wanted to steal cars or commit these crimes, and you were like, man, I'm more focused on Wall Street. My dream is to make it to Wall Street, to be a financial advisor or whatever. I don't know, like whatever on Wall Street, to be a trader. I want to be a stock trader on Wall Street, right? And that was your life's goal. Well, the closer you get to your goal as a trader and the closer I get to my goal as a thief, the more different our lives become, and the gap widens between us. And so then we find ourselves in a place where a decision has to be made. And it's like, it ain't that you don't love me no more, but it's that, like, yo, I have this goal that I'm going after in life. And the problem is, I can't get to Wall Street from y'all street. You feel what I'm saying? And so it's like, I'm trying to go to Wall Street, y'all on y'all street, and it's like, all right, over here I might get killed. You know what I'm saying? Over here I might get caught up in a case or something that can send me to jail hanging around y'all and prevent me from reaching my goal. And so it becomes tough in life to try to navigate shedding people off in the right way to do it. And it's not always even the right thing to do, because then sometimes there are people that you will help, that will gravitate to you, and they may not know the answers, right? They grew up just like you. They may not have the ambition, but then you might have to mentor them to get them on board if they have that desire. And then sometimes it's just family, bro. Like, at the end of the day, the Thanksgiving coming up, like, bro, you gonna go to the Thanksgiving dinner at your cousin crib, even though he live on y'all street and you from Wall Street. And the reality is, you successful, but you might go in that environment. They like, dog, you forgot where you came from. Good, this, and that's life. That's how it works. But at the end of the day, if you're gonna be successful, you're gonna have to figure out, how do I navigate people? How do I shed off people, or keep people at bay, or create boundaries with people in order to reach my goals, and not allow people to make me feel guilty for having goals? Because one of the things that happens when you become successful is that certain people who are more comfortable in their laziness, in their lack of success, they will try to make you feel like you are wrong, or you forgot where you came from because you want something greater. It's like, nah, bro, I want something greater because I know where I came from. And I know that God gave me an opportunity to be alive and to go after more. So I'm going to do that. Like, I'm not going to sit around and do nothing and just stay where I'm at to make other people happy. You feel what I'm saying? So shedding toxic people, that's a challenging one. Let's keep it moving, though. All right, what's next? We're looking at 7